So I got to thinking. All right, I was biking around, as you do in March, when you live in Arizona and it's 82 degrees. You know, I was shooting some B-roll out by the school, and I was thinking about this year for Switch. Man, is it amazing. You don't need to hear that from me, you know it. The games just keep coming, and the list just gets larger and larger. It's an insane year, probably the best ever. But I was thinking about it in a different way. Like if we get Breath of the Wild 2, Pokémon Scarlet and Violet, Splatoon 3, Legends Arceus, new Kirby, new Mario Strikers, new Fire Emblem and more, Metroid Bayonetta even, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, what next? Is Nintendo, and pardon me here, blowing their load in 2022, and will that be a problem going forward? What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Hit that like button if you're excited for 2022. It's incredible. And then let me know in the comments down below if you think this is something to worry about? Because here's the deal. Nintendo only has so many teams. And when they make a game like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, it's gonna be 5 years before we get the next one. Now, duh, Zach, like that's how every release works. It's years until you get the next one. Doesn't mean we don't want the games, right? But what if they're all in a row? Like look at Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. That's a game, probably the best third-party system exclusive outside of Monster Hunter Rise, which now has slipped to PC. And it took them a long time to get to the sequel. That means when Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope comes out, we probably gotta wait that long again for the next one. And then the next one for Zelda. And then the next one for Splatoon. And then the next one for Xenoblade. And the next one for Bayonetta. There are so many games jam-packed in this year that have been much anticipated, highly exciting, and from franchises that have been waiting for a big Switch release. Kirby can't be new again because Kirby is new right now. Now, Nintendo does have a bunch of franchises, so I would pump the brakes on the fear. They've got so many, but their main ones are all concentrated. And that's a great thing, but this system, Furukawa says he wants to last for a decade. Mario Kart, we know, is now kind of like saying, hey, let's set back an actual sequel for years because they've got DLC plans till the end of 2023. And Yoshi only knows when Metroid Prime 4 is going to finally release. We have seen nothing of that game, so I expect it to be years away as well. Now there's other things that they can fill the gaps with, but let's just hypothesize for a second here, all right? Is a year of Pikmin and Donkey Kong and Star Fox anywhere comparable to the year we're having right now? For some of you might say yes, because hey, Nintendo has a lot of franchises and they've got a lot of fans and they will be able to continue to put games out. But these big teams, they're gonna need time to work on the next thing. And look, the quality and the just bigness, the hugeness. I mean, these teams are talented, but they've been hard at work for years. It's taken years to go from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 to Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and all these teams now, boom, blowing the load in the same year. And let's not forget the games that have already come out in recent years, right? Smash Bros is probably done on Switch. They did it about as big as you can do it. So that's out of the question. We mentioned Mario Kart, probably also done on Switch, barring some strange cross-gen compatibility. They did Luigi's Mansion, they did Mario Golf, Mario Tennis, 2D Metroid. All right, these games, I mean, 2 Splatoons, they're probably not bringing back a third on the same system. So I'm looking ahead and I'm like, what do they got? What can they do besides just iterate and make us wait? And they're gonna have to fill 2023 and 2024 with some stuff. And especially if we keep hearing these rumors and these reports and the Nvidia leak about a Switch Pro of some sort releasing in a few years, I mean, what is gonna go alongside that? Now, I'm not saying last year was a bad year, but you'd be lying if you tried to tell me that last holiday lineup of a new Mario Party, a Pokemon remake in a chibi art style, and Shin Megami Tensei 5 is anywhere near as exciting as what we're drumming up in 2022. I mean, they did Animal Crossing, they did Paper Mario, they've done a million Musos. What do they move to next? They've also done 2 Mario parties, just about every major game from the Wii U era, and they even did a new Pokemon Snap called New Pokemon Snap. So when you really look at it, it's like, okay, Donkey Kong, Mario Odyssey 2, Mario trying out a different sport, maybe 2D Mario and Pokemon, plenty of Pokemon since that's basically a yearly annualized release now. Have you realized that like Pokemon is the new Call of Duty? Even Call of Duty is skipping next year because they can't get it together. Pokemon's like, we're putting out 2 major products this year. We put out 2 major products last year. I mean, that is really Nintendo's cash cow and old reliable. You can count on getting Pokemon until this system says goodbye, and then beyond that. Now, I'm not trying to paint a doom and gloom picture, nor am I trying to say that the Switch is gonna suck in the subsequent years. I think it's just a really interesting thing that Nintendo decided to do to put everything so close together. And we're getting a year of all years, but then we're gonna have to wait. There's inevitably going to be a gap for some of these teams and many of these franchises. And can Nintendo capitalize on the opportunity? Because you know what that void is perfect for? You know what that soil is really ripe and ready to hold? New IP. All right, Nintendo, they have tried and they have made some amazing strides in new IP as of late. Splatoon was not a thing before the Wii U, it wasn't. And now those are some of their most popular characters, one of their best multiplayer games. I know ARMS wasn't anywhere near as successful, but Nintendo, try it out. In the coming years, you won't have Link to rely on. You won't have Animal Crossing to rely on, but you can create something new. A franchise that can catapult to the next generation. That can be the Splatoon for Switch, right? What Splatoon was on Wii U, Switch needs something. So then when the new system comes out, we're like, dude, a sequel to Mugzabuzba? Whatever the game is, I mean, I'm down for it. And I think this is also the perfect time to mix your characters up. Blend them into different genres. Look, at one point, Mario wasn't a sportsman, all right? And now he is, and those are some of the coolest games that we look forward to. And Nintendo has moved Mario around, right? He did the Mario Maker thing, creating levels, a whole new costume set. It's high time that we get a whole new type of Mario game. And we have so many popular characters that thanks to the Switch have seen the light, right? They have been exposed on the world stage to become bigger and better than ever before. I mean, it's why we're gonna get that rumored Fire Emblem game, a new one along the lines of Three Houses, because that series has become huge. And there's so many other options. But I think swapping it around, like Animal Crossing, yes, mainline game, many moons away. But some sort of spin-off, that could be super successful and super fun. It just better not be as bad as Amiibo Festival. Kirby is actually a fantastic example of what I'm saying right here. It doesn't have to be off the wall bonkers, but going from Star Allies, which was very traditional Kirby, to Forgotten Land, which is much more forward-thinking Kirby, that is a really fun step forward. It's a really exciting evolution. And now Nintendo can take these franchises that have seen a game or even 2 games on Switch and give them new blood. I think there's also room for Nintendo to make more third-party partnerships. And whether they decide to dole out their characters a la Davide and the team that's working on Mario plus Rabbids, or they just partner up for an exclusive game like Monster Hunter Rise was at launch and still remains on the console side of things, that would be a great gap filler and an opportunity to say, hey, we got 120 million players now, so maybe you should make something just for this audience, and it's gonna sell. Like, you can get 5 milli pretty easy on the Switch. So it's definitely not some terrible situation. It'll be interesting, it might even feel awkward at times, and there could be a misfire or 2. If everything hits in 2022 that's supposed to hit, I think next year, 2023, will inevitably be a letdown. It just has to be a step back from what we saw this calendar year, right? And we should probably get ready for that. Now, that doesn't mean Nintendo can't have a hit, nor does it mean they can't have super fun games that provide a super fun time, but it won't feel the same. And this insane rush that we're experiencing right now, really just take it in and enjoy. Look, they can put out a new 3D Mario next year and rally around and still have it feel like a super Switch season. But I'm telling you, my takeaway here is that Nintendo is about to get creative. We're about to see Nintendo being a little uncomfortable. And not because they're not successful, because they are, but precisely because they're so successful, now they have the confidence, the freedom, the flexibility, and the insane player base, plus the time with the teams traditionally making the traditional titles, having just released a huge project. Now maybe some new stars can shine. I definitely want to hear how you feel about all this, but I'm really hopeful. I think we could have some of the most exciting years. They've got a very strong grasp of the Switch, exactly what it can do and exactly what it can't. And now they can kind of get a little jiggy with it. And I'm not teasing Banjo, although that would be brilliant. I'm thinking more like, you know, Galaxy 2 just like pushed the limits, and how Bowser's Fury felt like just a fun stretch for that team. Let's stretch it out in some different ways. And I'm even talking about ARMS. Bring it back. It could be much better the second time around. Do some smaller games. Pick on some very unsung heroes, some characters that don't get a whole lot of screen time, and innovate. Bring out new IP and figure out what fun new character you're gonna add to that parade at the Nintendo Tokyo store that has Splatoon on it. The Inkling Girl is there because she established herself as a Nintendo mainstay because Nintendo decided to get risky. And on the Wii, it was from a place of like, we gotta try something, it's a complete disaster. On Switch, it's like, the going is so good, all these games are out there, what next? And we know Pokemon will be there, so don't worry too much. But besides Pokemon, what next? Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and what's next for this channel is another video. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all being here each and every day. Thank you, thank you. I love you a lot. Make sure you're staying safe, staying healthy, staying happy, staying positive out there. The best part is, whatever Nintendo puts out, 2022, 2023, 2024, we're here, we're covering it. SwitchForce is your home, and I'm happy to be your guide on this glorious Nintendo journey. Until next time, thanks again, everybody. SwitchForce out.